Kevin McCloskey with, lo and behold, Ricky Portella back from the Great Plains in New York City. Ricky has now picked up a Mafia nickname. We call him Sweet Pea now. This is his Mafia name. Ricky, welcome back. Unfortunately, we saw the Warriors fall tonight to Butler. Score was 34-7. Much better, though, than last year's 45-0. This year, I thought this was a game. Last year, it was kind of like, okay, thank you, Butler, for letting us come to your field and play. Tonight, it's like, we're going to give you everything we got. Midway through the third quarter, this game was tied at 7-7.
Well, I thought Butler, they showed why they were one of the top teams in the state. And, when it got down to 14-7 or whatever, they took care of business. And, they scored a lot in the second half. But they were in a game, and they're going to wake up tomorrow, and they're going to be sore. This was a ball game. Yes.
Yeah, exactly right. I said about 8 minutes ago in the second quarter, the Warriors, Butler kind of muffed the pump. Perry Greason jumped on it. We got the ball in good field position. Had a bad snap. Not a bad snap. Daniels mishandled a snap, but then he recovered on the next play, ran it in for a touchdown to score 7-7. This was anybody's game. The turning points of this game to me was special teams play. Butler made that big mistake, but on the Warrior side, very disappointed. We have 4 kicks blocked, 2 field goals were blocked, that's 6 points, and 2 punts were blocked. You can't do those things against Butler.
You can't, and it's the little things that count when you're playing a team of this caliber. And we talked about this throughout the game. I thought their defensive line dominated the game, and their defensive line just made our quarterback have to scramble the whole game, and he just never could get his feet set and find his receivers. And we've got some great athletes, folks. If you want to see some fun games, come out and watch Western play. But we just were not able to get into that rhythm, and I think it's because of their defensive line.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Their defensive line was the story of the game, aside from the special teams kind of blunders, I guess. You look at them, they're big. They're not overly big. They're strong. They're not overly strong. What they dominated was in their speed. They just blew by our guys, and we had no answer there. Another player that stood out to me from Butler was their quarterback. Was very impressed with number 11. He looked like a college quarterback to me. He's pointing out defenses. He's making checks. His throwing motion, I saw flashbacks to Phillip Rivers.
Correct. He has a little hitch like Phillip Rivers does. The thing that I was impressed the most is he's tall, so he sees over the line of scrimmage, and like you said, he picks his targets, and he has great athletes. We have a couple of players that have a lot of speed. For every one that we have, they have 2 or 3 just like that. Yeah. So it's hard for us to break tackles and expect open field because they've got someone just as fast as our guys coming right behind.
Yeah, on our side, I want to say shout out to Christian Daniels. I thought he played a wonderful game. He was under heavy pressure. We have 1 turnover tonight. That's the first turnover of the year in 3 games. Very, very well. I thought Jake Chrisman did extremely well, catching passes and getting open and making plays. The defense in particular, they scored 34 points, but like I said, some of that was due to short field positions. I thought the defense played great. Next week, guys, Season 2 starts. It's conference play. We head up to Eden. We're playing Moorhead. You know what that means. Moorhead is not the Moorhead team from last year, but we owe them a slice of revenge pie.
We sure do. Obviously, if you remember last year, they knocked us out of the playoffs in that overtime game. So there's some revenge there. We have a great team. Yeah. We just need to learn from this game. And we talked about it before the game. Butler plays every week. They play up here. We need to figure out a way to get up there. Yeah. And games like tonight help us get there.
Yeah, exactly right. So next week the guys just need to take this as a stepping stone and grow from it. Like I said, this was last year I felt like, okay, again, it was like, thank you, Butler, for the privilege of playing you. This year it's like, we played you. Yeah, you beat us, but we played you. And we need to take that and carry it through to conference play, and that starts next week. So anybody, I know it's a long trip, but make the trip to Eden Moorhead. I'm going to come back from the beach just to be there, so I hope you can too. Ricky Portella, Kevin McCloskey signing out. Have a good night.